Welcome, everyone. I'm Stirling Eads, Senior Vice President of Marketing at Excel Sports Management. Thank you so much for carving this time out of your day to join us for what we hope is an interesting and engaging conversation around athlete brand building. Joining me today is two-time Super Bowl champion and beloved former New York Giants quarterback, Eli Manning.
Thanks, Stirling. Thanks for that introduction. I'm really excited about being here today.
And we're also joined by Alia Kemet, Vice President of Creative and Digital Communications at McCormick.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Thank you both for joining today. Over the course of our conversation, we'll huddle up in the virtual fashion we've all embraced to talk about the importance of athlete brand building, both from the side of an athlete, but also when it comes to integrating a sports figure into a campaign. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Eli, a brand is something we talk about a lot in the sports marketing world, but what does it mean to you to build a personal brand? And how did playing in New York help you shape that brand?
Yeah, Sterling, I think when I first came to New York, I don't know if a personal brand was even a phrase I ever heard of or ever thought about at the time. I think when I got here, I had one responsibility, and that was to play football for the New York Giants, to be a great teammate, to be a leader on the field, to be coachable, and to set an example on the field and off the field. And I think if I did not succeed on the field, if I did not have success, if I was a bad teammate, there would be no opportunity to have a brand. My football career would be over. I'd be doing something else. But over time, just how I conducted myself, how I represented myself, my team to the media and interviews, there became opportunities to do commercials or to be endorsed by different companies. And I think I got comfortable doing a few more commercials and doing local commercials, also getting involved in the community around New York and New Jersey and helping out with several different charities. So I think all those things, just being myself, not trying to be someone different, trying to be a good person, a good teammate, was really what shaped my brand.
You avoided social media for quite some time. I know we had many discussions throughout your career about it and always ended up tabling your dive into that world until now. So I'd love if you could talk about what gave you that push to join and what has that experience been like?
While I was playing football, I think my focus was obviously on playing football, and I just didn't want to have another responsibility to have to send out a certain tweet or have to dive into something new that I just didn't know a whole lot about. I wasn't following people on social media. It's just a foreign thing to me that I was, just nervous about. But after a number of conversations and an opportunity where Frank's Red Hot came into the mix and said, would you mind maybe commentating on this match that Peyton and Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady were involved in, and after a few weeks of kind of going back and forth, I said, you know what, I'm going to join anyway. I think I've already made my mind. This would be a great introduction to partner up with Frank's, which is a great company. I think has a similar personality to me. I think we both take our jobs very seriously. I always took football very seriously, but I didn't always take myself very seriously. And I think that personality kind of came out with Frank's, and it'd be a great way to just to jump right into it, have some opportunities to learn and to commentate and try to, show my personality while supporting Peyton and also maybe, taking some jabs at Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady. But, it worked out so well, and obviously a reason that, I'm here today and doing this. And so because of that campaign and how successful it was.
It's funny. I know one of the responses to your first tweet was from your former teammate, Michael Strahan, who said, never read the comments. But I can tell you, I've been reading the comments and people are really enjoying, and they really enjoyed the commentary during the match as well. Alia, can you tell us a little bit about how this all came about and how the background as to how it fit your sports marketing strategy and how your team helped execute the activation of Eli live tweeting throughout the match?
Sure, Sterling. I think it really starts with knowing your brand and also knowing your audience. And very similar to Eli, like we've been learning our brand at Frank's through the eyes of our fans for a really, really long time. And I'll say there's a few things that haven't changed over 100 years, and it's really our innovative spirit, right? Our ability, and Eli mentioned it, to not take ourselves too seriously, to be able to be light with it, to always have fun, and to really know when to kick it up a notch. And I think that, our equity is really about the perfect blend of flavor and heat. That's really where we sit. And it's just kind of like, it's really fundamental to how we feel. And it's something that we felt like Eli also had this really great balance in his personality. So it was like a little spice and a whole lot of nice. And I think that just coming together so beautifully in the match just made the partnership really exceed our expectations.
I'm going to use that. I'm going to steal that from you, but I'll quote you. I like
Okay.
that. A little spice and a whole lot of nice.
Alia, can you talk a little bit about some of the results that you all saw through the Twitter campaign?
Absolutely. I think one of the most exciting things is that we really increased our positive sentiment on Twitter by over 2 times during the actual match. We had 55 times our normal follower growth. So like people are actually, obviously they're engaging, but they're also choosing to follow Frank's Red Hat. And we think that's exciting, right? Obviously for our brand. And we were the most talked about brand on Twitter during the match. I mean, of all brands, and that's super exciting. And then the other kind of last thing I'll say is that there were over 200,000 tweet engagements. And obviously a lot of those were about Eli in particular and his like awesome responses. And people, were quoting some of his responses. I think one of them that I loved was something like, he never misses, even on Twitter or even in social. And I think that, you just couldn't have, we couldn't have scripted it, it really had to be this kind of organic thing that happened.
And we talked about that. I think that personality is something that's so fun to be on display on Twitter throughout all of those live tweets. And that's something that's recurring that we see within all of the brand marketing campaigns that Eli's been part of. Eli, we remember your Dirty Dancing NFL commercial, your direct TV spots, your time on SNL, just to name a few. For those that don't know you too well, can you tell us how that more of that sense of personality plays into what you enjoy doing when it comes to branding?
Well, I think, growing up, I have 2 older brothers, and for me, a way I got picked on a little bit, and I was always, the little brother, but a way for me to get back at them was to be a prankster. I could tie all their shoes together. Or I could sneak in their room and mess with their room or mess with their, if they're on the phone with a friend or a girlfriend, I could be, messing with them at those times. That was my only way to kind of get revenge or to get payback because I couldn't pick on them. I couldn't bully them like I was getting bullied. So I think that kind of attitude has carried on through my life and being a little bit of prankster, like I said earlier, not taking myself too seriously.
You've had the opportunity through a number of your commercials as well to work with your dad, work with your brother. Can you talk about the dynamics on set and being able to play off one another as well when it comes to activating those?
Those are some of the most, fun opportunities. And especially while I was playing, I didn't get to see Peyton all that often. He was either in Indianapolis or Denver, and I'm in New York. We don't have the normal, Thanksgivings or Christmas or, holidays where we get together. So sometimes a commercial shoot would be an opportunity for us to come in, spend the night to get, in the same city the night before, go to dinner, and then on set, during downtime, get to hang out. Also on set, we get to improv a little bit, and sometimes, we were just, totally off script. We'd say, hey, we've hit that shot. We've done it 100 times. I know there's got to be one in there, and we just say, all right, let's just go totally off script, so they know we're done, and just do something totally ridiculous. And usually that was the one that made the final cut, and they end up using. And so, those are just the fun memories when you get to do it with your family. And again, a way to, showcase your personality a little bit.
Speaking of family, now that you're retired from football, you're getting the opportunity to spend a lot more time with your family. And that's obviously especially true given the pandemic that we're currently living through. Can you speak to a little bit what you've been doing the last few months, both personally and professionally?
Well, it's been a great opportunity, and obviously it's a tough situation, and there's so many people that are struggling, but for me to be retired when the pandemic hit, to be around the family, I became a substitute 3rd grade teacher for my oldest daughter, Ava. So I'm really strong on the rhombus game and quadrilaterals and rectangles and squares. I really got that mastered. The Industrial Revolution, I've really, learned a lot more about that, and that's been refreshed in my mind and memory. So if you have any questions about that, I'm happy to go go there if you need it. But there has been some opportunities for us just to be together. You were forced to stay inside or stay around your neighborhood and find quality family time. And so you try to make the best of those scenarios, which I thought we did. And I think that's football took so much time away from my family over the years. Pretty much gone every weekend for 25 weeks a year. Gone for a month in August during training camp. So just to have that time with the family now has been great. And so I'll hopefully continue to do all those things, but also be around and to be involved in the family a little bit more in their activities.
And you and former teammate Sean O'Hara, plus 1,000 of your new closest friends, did a really great virtual home gating event with Frank's Red Hot a couple weeks ago before a Giants game, and had I think tens of thousands more who joined the live stream to watch you all have this home gating prior to the game, play some games, try some food, etc. Alia, our team at Excel, has been involved in a number of virtual activations during this time across our full roster of athletes and brainstormed a wide range of ideas. And we all loved this home gating concept. Can you touch on how the activation served as a great continuation of the partnership with ELI?
Sure. Again, this is really where chemistry of our partnership really shined through. Eli is such a natural and really genuinely cares about his fans. And home gating was all about fans, right? This is a way to allow people who, usually would be tailgating and would really be planning a lot of gatherings together with their family and friends, to still, do that, but virtually, and to do it with Eli Manning. How that's a rare opportunity. And we had over 600,000 consumers engaged on Twitter and tune in. So it was a huge success for us. We had a lot of fun. I mean, there were over 750 million media impressions. I mean, it was absolutely a success, but it was also, I think, another great opportunity for us to showcase Frank's Red Hot brand personality, as well as all the really yummy things that you can eat with it.
And Alia, I know that was something that was so important from our side, in that not only did you all incorporate those charitable ties into Homegate, but you also joined in on the Spirit of Match and supported a number of Eli's charitable ties with donations during that time. Can you speak more broadly to the role charitable work plays in your corporate brand mission?
Sure. Those kids were so sweet to calling into the Homegate. I think it really added to the entire thing, it really did. But our company at McCormick and Company, we have always been, one of our goals has always been to improve the quality of life of where we live, where we work, and where we source products from as well. And so, I think people want to be a part of things like that. Sure, we're advertising, we're having fun, we're selling a product, but when we can do something that's really good for people and help others and lift them up, especially now, I mean, we want to be a part of that. And so we were like, absolutely, let's do it. And I think we did. I think it was awesome.
So Eli, what's next for you? How do you plan to continue to further develop now that you're in your post-football career, but the start of so much more now in your retirement career?
Well, I enjoy doing these types of events. I think, in the last couple of months, my tech game has really improved. Every day, I'm learning a new feature. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know how to look at comments from other people. Now I see what Strahan's talking about now. Some are nice, some are not very nice. And so, maybe it was a good idea not to learn this feature, not to read these. So, but I'm excited. I'm excited about what the future holds, and just seeing how I can be more helpful and be more involved, and to generate more interest in some of the companies that have been worked with and have been so great to me.
Well, we are definitely excited as well. And Eli and Alia, thank you both so much for the great conversation and taking the time to do this today. It's been a real pleasure chatting with both of you about brand building, about how we've all been able to effectively work together to establish and execute this partnership that I think we've all had a lot of fun doing, and obviously has seen some great results too. Thank you to Clio Sports and to Bleacher Report for putting this great conference on. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in and spent this time with us. We really appreciate it, and we wish you all well. Thank you.